Hello and welcome everybody. I'm here today with my amazing client, Anastasia, who's just finished her 3-month deep transformation together working with me. And today we're going to jump into her journey and hear a bit about her experience working together. So welcome, Anastasia. How are you doing today? And where are you calling from?
Okay, so I'm doing very well today, actually, and I am in Norway, and I live in Norway.
Okay,
Hmm.
beautiful. Far away, but a beautiful place to be, right?
Yes, yeah. It's beautiful nature, that's for
Okay,
sure. Yeah.
amazing.
Hmm.
All right, so if we dive in a little bit about your journey here together, Anastasia. To begin with, why don't you just tell me a little bit more about, before you joined the program? Tell me exactly where you were at and what was going on in your life.
Before I joined the program, I was in a place in my life where I wanted to find some more clarity with terms of where my life was going. I had already started doing let's say the work and the healing journey and had tried different modalities and stuff, but I really wanted to explore more layers and dive deeper. I was also at a specific place where there are things that were going on, maybe stuff that were that needed a little bit more attention from me with regards to relationships, things to explore, things with patterns, and also what my life purpose was and is, if I can say it like this. Like I was in a journey where different paths could be unfolding. A lot of fear or a lot of, let's say, beliefs or old patterns bringing me here and there and back and there and swirling around me. So there were all this stuff and layers that I really needed to explore when you just suddenly just popped up. So I took a chance with you. So that's how it started. Mm.
Hmm. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so if we dive in a little bit deeper then to where you were at, can you share a little bit more about like what were some of the problems that you were aware of, and how were those problems affecting your life negatively before you joined and when you just at the beginning?
Some of them had to do with relationship issues and patterns that I had started to realize and see how they were showing up in my life. I was also, I had, yeah, come out for quite some time from separation. Like so I was married and I have a small kid, so that was one stuff and how that was affecting my life. And also being a single mom in a country where I'm not from, so there were different, let's say, difficulties, challenges, and realities that I was navigating and trying to face. So that was one part, and also the patterns that I was discovering in me, and that I really wanted to do something about it. That had already started, but during these 3 months with you, we went a lot more deeper, let's say. So that was
Hmm.
one part, and the other one was to discuss or to be in a life where I feel absolutely that I feel whole, that this is something that I have chosen myself, something that I shine through, and not something that I feel that I have to do because this is what I am familiar with, I have learned, and this is what I need to go if I want to survive or have a safe or secure life. If, yeah, I can say it like that. So there were like two
Hmm.
different things that I was very much eager to explore and navigate. And I think
Hmm.
all of this affected my reality. Mm.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just so important to address these issues, right, when they're present. 'Cause if we don't do anything about them, they're not going to go away, right?
Mm.
And so then, you joined the program, right? And we started to dive in deep together and do lots of this deep inner work. And so when you did then join the program, what were some of your favorite things about the program? Like, what did you like and what did you really enjoy about it the most?
Okay, so the first thing that I really liked was the plan of it. Like when we started, let's say, the interview together, and you mapped out the program and you described it to me, and that like absolutely fit my needs. That was the first thing I liked. Also the fact that it was one-to-one, because I never had this before. It would either be a short-term community or workshops or stuff like that, but it was never one-to-one. And that I think it had all the components that I really needed, and that was offered to me. So
Mm,
that was the first thing I really liked. Because in my head, I thought that, ah, you can have one thing, you cannot have it all, or that would be something that you cannot approach. That would be something extreme, something, I don't know. So that was the first thing I liked. And also how I felt with you energetically from day one. So that is something I could lean on, something that I felt very well with. Um, and I had a very good feeling and a very good sense of the whole thing from the first time we spoke together. So there were both these two things. And then when the program started, and it was actually as we said, right, that was also very important because we could go step by step. We could follow all the stuff. I could follow the exercises. I could follow the challenges. And I love this kind of stuff. And that we could also follow through all of this. So it was all this to begin with. And the fact that I could actually also in the beginning share my story, which is something I really hadn't done before. So I could feel that I was heard and seen, and that is a little bit out of the way. And I could embrace some parts of me that um, carried shame or guilt or things that I would find difficult to maybe confide or talk about to someone. So that was the first part. And also that we could take the narrative out of the way and and dive deep in what were the patterns, what were the issues, what was really going on behind all of these things.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Anastasia. And what you touched on there is really important, right? Because there's so many people in this space, right, who have already been in communities, done some surface level things, done some workshops. They've been doing the work, let's say, but they still haven't got any deep transformation. So, you know, can you tell me a little bit more about why, for you, one on one was so powerful and so important in this space?
Okay, so like I remember from trying out, let's say, a community or a workshop, you might have gotten maybe if you had the chance, because usually there are a lot of people, so maybe you had the chance to get an answer or to have a good session or some powerful session, even it wouldn't last that long, so that would be okay. But one to one, first of all, for me it was like a kind of a sacred space, and that was felt from the beginning. So from from the get-go is a different energy, is a different space to hold the transformation. Then I had a specific relationship, right, the relationship I had with you, and the fact that I could also feel that someone could gently nudge me and hold me accountable. So there were a lot of different things that felt that this is it, and this is happening, and maybe there's no way to get out of it either. And that had an effect after the session as well. And your sessions were also, we also had the thematic sessions, which were extremely important. Like it wasn't just maybe the talking session or the exercises that I would have to follow and then talk about them. and all of this stuff. The somatic sessions were very powerful, and they were a very important part of the program. So there was always a transformation step after every session. After every session, there was something else that was coming up. There were times, for example, that I would feel euphoric contents. I would feel whole, all of this stuff. And there were times that wounds were, uh, resurfacing, and then I would have to be with them. And that was also a major part of the transformation. And that I could actually, for the first time, be with myself in anything that was coming up without trying to get away from it. And that was a huge step for the transformation. That was like the recipe for the transformation. And every time, even at times that were really challenging, were really difficult, or maybe I wouldn't know what to do, um, that being there was uh, was a whole new level. The way I was every time after this experience was amazing. And then every time I knew that I could trust myself a little bit more. And of course, during the whole thing and the whole journey, you were also there. I could reach you whenever I wanted. You would always get back to me. So I wasn't either, let's say, left alone trying to figure it out. Now I know that I have more tools on how to figure it out. Like, for example, if something comes up now that is very difficult for me or challenging, or whatever, I, my body, my memory, my brain, my nervous system knows a little bit more how to be with that. Because now it is, I know, let's say, I have experienced it. I have experienced the before, the while, and the after. So this brings a lot more trust with myself. But also in the beginning, you were there. So I wasn't just alone trying to figure it out or swim or having no idea, or that someone just left me with an open wound. And what can we do about it? So that was also very important. So that was also one of the great things of the one-to-one that I never had before. So it was all worth it because there were a lot of different components that made it a transformation journey for me.
Mm, powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power of one-to-one coaching is so important. But depending on what it's for, right? But in this space, one of the most important reasons why one-on-one is so powerful because we get to go so deep, right?
Mm,
And that's what's required with this type of work. Group coaching is great for other parts, but for this, we go so deep that it's necessary. And obviously, having that support and accountability on the way is super powerful as well. So amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
mm.
So then, after you joined the program, then once we were going in, and you got the transformation, where are you at now in your life compared to before in terms of your issues, your wounds, your traumas, and your relationship with yourself, just in general? Where are you at now compared to before when you joined?
I will say something that might sound a little bit of a cliche, but now I do realize, like I do really realize what self-love means. And
Mm,
not in the narcissistic way. Because I have also had like people I knew or friends or acquaintances and stuff that would be going to therapy forever. And I would feel that behind all these recognitions of issues or patterns, they were getting a bit more narcissistic than ever before in a way. Instead of like transforming the pattern that they have actually understood, it actually my feeling was that it was being used actually in some weird way. So um so yes, like there was a shift of mentality from, let's say, the pattern of being surrounded by maybe avoidance men, or maybe borderline narcissistic men or stuff like that. Like all this mentality shifted. It's like that is not even what I need to explore now, because that in a way doesn't exist. Like when you get to actually trust yourself, you are more open to trust while having the knowledge at the same time, and while knowing that you will not abandon yourself, and that provides a
Hmm.
top level security and safety with yourself. So that is not even an issue if the other person might be avoidant or not avoidant, or it's like that this mentality has shifted. It's like it's
Hmm.
not in my concern, let's say. So it's
Hmm.
and the fact that I could actually embrace every little part of myself, even those I were like so ashamed of before, while also having the responsibility of moving forward, the accountability, and that I want to do better than this without punishing myself for this, or without punishing myself for the past, or without trying to prove something to myself or other people. The This need for validation has like this has gone down significantly, for example, and that every time whatever pops up, I can just, even when I'm dysregulated, there will be a time when I will step back, I will breathe in, I will dive deeper in where I am and what I really need, and where is this coming from, and how I want to show up, and where is this coming from, and then I make that choice. Another pattern for that was like that has been very, very, I think, um, dominant in me, would be the insecurity on if I make the right decision or not, for example. It was always this indecision. Will I make the right decision? Do I make the right choice? Should I choose it? What would be the consequences of that? That has been an extreme fear. And then for the first time, I can lean back and say, where is this coming from? Which place do I want to make the choice from? And that is a great shift. And I can see that being reflected in my reality as well. So
Mm.
so in a way, I have seen it back. I have seen it coming back to me. I have seen it being reflected back to me. Not that the challenges disappear, not that the difficulties disappear, but I am in a different place, and that can be reflected back to me, and I feel I can hold these challenges without getting lost, panic that I will not make it, I will not survive, or all of this stuff. So knowing that no matter what, you can always get back to yourself, and there is no right or wrong choice. But this is this is your intention as to where you want to move, makes a huge shift in reality. It's like in the actual reality, So I have seen
Hmm.
that, and that has been the game changer for me. So that's why I can call it transformation.
Mm. Powerful. Yeah, and obviously witnessing your journey as well has been super inspiring to see, where you were and where you are now, right? And the level of connection and trust you have with yourself now is night and day, right, compared to when we began together.
Mm,
So, well done to you for that, because you did this work. It all comes down to you doing the work. No one else can do it for you. Obviously, I was here to help guide you, but you're the one doing in the work. So,
mm.
if we just talk a bit more about that now, right, in your life, of how that's showing up now, can you share a little bit more about how that is positively affecting your life now, in your day-to-day life now? Maybe share maybe some more tangible um, ways it's showing up now in your life for you.
Okay, one is that I gave more space into the things that I really want to do and explore. And there was a lot of fear behind that, with the terms to which path I'm going to follow and why. So making this choice has made me see that it is possible, that possibilities open up. Um, I have a lot more energy, first of all. Like I have a lot more energy to do the stuff I really want to do. I am a lot more present in anything I do, and even if in my daily work, uh, the relationship I have with my students or how my day unfolds is day and night. I come back home and I don't feel, oh my God, I need the weekend to get out of what has happened, or to, I need to just 2 hours to get out of what is happening to me. So it's like none is in separation uh, anymore. Um,
Mm,
and that is very important. My relationship with my kids. All of the stuff, the resentment I have been holding with people, and the way I have been working with it has also reflected a different reality now that I have worked with it, for example. So my relationships are better in all levels. And at the same time, I am more myself than ever. I don't feel the need so much to perform. I don't feel the need to say that or the other. And I actually I'm getting, even though some friendships might have changed or shifted, or I'm getting different people now in my life as well, which I didn't have before. So a lot of things are opening up in their own pace, let's say, and
mm.
that is great for me. I don't know if you need specific details, but yeah.
That's great. I mean, just share what you want to share, right?
Mm.
That's what it's about. But you touched on a few things there which are super important, right? Of how things can change very quickly, right? When the energy shifts and that space opens up, when you're living in truth and in alignment, the universe is going to support you. And
Yes.
some people think that it's just some magical thing, where it's not. It's a lot. It's so much more simple than people make it to be. People just get in their own ways and make it complicated.
And another thing that was important for me was like the fear with money and the scarcity mentality, right? Also,
Hmm.
investing in a program like that I had never done before. And I would never imagine that I would invest an amount of money in something like that, might mean something to my survival rate later on, and so on. And this did not happen.
Mm,
Actually, for me, it was also a huge transformative step to be able to lean into that, and
hmm.
take the leap of faith, and see it coming back to me. So like in the summer, for example, I saw a lot more money in my bank account, if I can say it like that also. So
Hmm.
even though I did spend quite a lot, and at some point I thought, oh my God, I'm spending so much money suddenly for this, for the, I got quite a lot of money back, also for some mysterious
Mm.
reason here and there. So I
It's all energy at the end of the day, right?
I even got offers like a specific gift that opened up for me. It's like, yeah, you need to get this. And I was like, okay, So I have also, of course, that is always an issue. You need to manage your
Hmm.
financial situation and everything, but I don't hold the fear that I used to. And that is
Hmm.
so important for me, because it was always like driving force, that would also affect everything in a way.
Mm. Absolutely. And that's a real testament to your transformation as well, right? When it
Mm.
comes to investing in yourself, of letting go of that fear, that attachment of, that lack of money, the abundance. And the best way that we break these beliefs is by actually doing the opposite of what they are. I am showing myself that I can invest, that I trust myself, that I'm going to commit to this process, and the universe has my back. So
Yes.
let's dive into that little bit more then, because
Okay.
you know, in this coaching world, quite a lot of people are scared of investing in themselves, right? Like you mentioned, the money is not going to be there.
Mm.
Oh, what am I going to do? Is this going to go? Is this going to work out? So, what would you say to somebody who was like in your shoes when you joined, right? Who's maybe watching this video, who's considering joining my program, or not necessarily with me, but investing into a high ticket one-on-one mentor for some deep work, and they're obviously a bit scared, on the fence, or uncertain. What would you say to that person who's potentially watching this video right now?
Okay, that is a big one for me. So the first thing I would say is that I would acknowledge what they feel, because it is scary. So it's like it is very scary actually. So it's like it's important to acknowledge that first. Um, like get an actual reality of what could be spent or not spent depending on where this person is coming from. So I would actually make that kind of a realistic acknowledgement at first, but also that I can absolutely understand how scary this is and how this person may feel. uh, like 1,000%. So that would be one, and I would also understand the doubt, because I guess it's not that all coaching programs or might bring results. And one thing for that is that first it has to do with the coach itself, themselves, okay? What they're bringing into, what kind of energy they're carrying, what they actually have in minds. With regards to them being in this business, if let's say that. And the other one is how willing the other person is to put all themselves in, to go all in, to invest, and to actually be in the journey and follow everything that needs to be done for this transformation. Because a lot of people also start with being, oh yeah, sounds so nice, so fancy, that I'm like if I do this I'm gonna get candy from the universe. And it's not like that. There's a whole procedure that I will have to go through, and I will have to stick with that, and can be very, very painful at times. So they might be,
Hmm.
they need to be willing and ready for that, even then, even if it might be difficult, and even if they maybe side back at times, that is also accepted. That can also be okay. And maybe they stretch a little bit more in their capacity after that. So that would be an acknowledgement of all these things first, and then to actually
Hmm.
lean into how what is being offered there, how it is being offered, how they feel, what is the energy they get, and if this program really meets their needs, the investment is 1,000, 1,000,000% worth it. And that,
Hmm.
yes, this is also another like big area to explore, navigate, and discover the scarcity mentality. And that's actually this investment brings investment in themselves, which opens up all levels of abundance in life. So
Hmm.
that's how it would be for me. It's like it's investment in abundance in the end of the day, and a scarcity
Hmm.
shift. And in a way it's like as you need to go down the maybe difficult road to, or maybe painful road, or have to sit with all your emotions and everything you have suppressed, or haven't acknowledged, or you thought, that you know they're negative or stuff like that. So once you actually are able to sit with that, and then the transformation comes, and then the wholeness comes, and then the same happens in this case as well. You kind of dive in
Hmm.
the shitty process of actually doing the, nah, I'm giving away, so that you can actually receive tenfolds in the
Uh-huh.
in
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, great
Mm.
great explanation. So let's just got one more question on that topic then. So just to like summarize it all up, right? So let's just say the person watching for this, it makes perfect sense to them, right? It
Mm.
feels aligned. It feels perfect. They're excited about it. They want it. There's nothing preventing them from do it doing it with the trust or the alignment. It's just the fear of investing. What would be your final words of wisdom of the just scared of committing and letting go and committing to themselves and trusting the process?
um Me having been through that, I would say, okay, you know what, take it as a guarantee for me. Like, like when you go for a bank loan and they ask someone to be your safe person, your guarantees. Okay, I've been through this, so I can guarantee that this works. um, so I would just say simple as that. So that would be one, and the other thing would be, think about all the money you have been spending in I don't know what. Like, this is a scary investment. Oh my God, I know. And then you spend money in, I don't know how much money in things that are, I don't know, objects, things you think you need, things you like. If you sit down and see how much you spend on things that are not taking you anywhere, and you want to decide that, okay, look what I'm spending, because I can assure this person that they're
Mm,
spending on a lot of shit. For example, they might not even need, or they think they need,
hmm.
or they're not, nothing's happening because of them. Like, they have all the
Yeah.
latest gadgets of whatever you can imagine, but they would never invest on this, for example, because this is
Hmm.
expensive. But they would invest
Hmm.
tons of money in, I don't know, the latest gadget of whatever else. So
Hmm.
I would say that if you really want this transformation journey, if you really want your life to be on a different level, that's the way to go about it. That's the way to go for it and invest. And what you get out of
Hmm.
it is, I don't know, you cannot count it, there is
Hmm.
there's no specific value. You cannot put a number on what you're going to receive in the end of it, or where you're gonna be.
Hmm. Mm.
So go for it.
Beautiful. Great words of wisdom there, Anastasia. And what came up for me when you were sharing that, right, is
Mm,
what came up for me is like when I was back in the day, investing money onto objects, right,
yes,
only to try to fill that void, that internal void again of the self worth and the validation. You could be investing that into a coach or mentors, not even me specifically, other people, to address that wound, so that you're no longer throwing that money away just to feel good. You feel good now inside. You know,
yes. And you know what?
powerful.
You were actually, you even pushed me. You actually pushed me, because I didn't even have crossed my mind, for example, to take a vacation to on my own for a week. That was not even on my schedule. You actually pushed me for that. And I was thinking, that is even okay.
Uh-huh.
It's good for me, but that's even extra money. Where on earth? Why? I had money for everything in the end of the day. I had my vacation. I had
Hmm.
the extra vacation I hadn't planned.
Two vacations.
I had more vacations than the previous year. And I had more
Uh-huh.
fun than the previous year. I had a whole week to myself, which I hadn't had for years. And I did that as
Mm-hmm.
well. So, yeah. So things are
Okay,
opening up.
powerful. Like,
Things are opening up in good ways once you lean into that.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. You've come a long way, and it's only going to get better, right? When you continue to follow that truth and live in wholeness. So, another a few final questions here before we wrap this up. So, when it comes to this work as well, quite a lot of people they feel. I mean, they actually necessarily want to join the program because they feel like I haven't personally lived their life or their exact experiences.
Hmm.
All of us have different experiences in this life, but they may feel like I haven't lived the exact experience, so I won't be able to help them. What would you say to that, Anastasia?
Um, I would say that in a way it doesn't make sense, because there you will never find a person in this life that has had the exact same experience as you had. So it doesn't make sense. What matters there is that the other person has actually done their work, and they have shown up same way. They have been through this journey. They have sat with all the parts. They have invested themselves. They have leaned into trust. They have taken the leap. So you can see how these people have taken the risk or the work or anything that was necessary so that they are in the place they are now, and that they are able to give this offer. But also, as you said, and that goes for everyone, no one has everything figured out. Doesn't mean you need to have everything perfect. Doesn't mean you need to have all the experiences of the world for that. And that's not wrong at all. I mean, let's say during our sessions, what was brought up, the maternity thing. Of course, you are not a mother. Okay, you don't even have kids, and you cannot be a mother yourself. That doesn't mean you cannot be in a place where you can see things that blind spots, or things that haven't I am not in the right moment to be able to see or perceive or be aware of, and you bring them up, and I can work them. Of course, I have also had students my whole life, and I wasn't a mother myself, and I could work with the things with the students, and I could tell things
Mhm.
from another point of view, which has helped them tremendous. So
Mhm.
I in actually, it's also a good thing, because you have experience I haven't had, and I learn from you as well, and you learn from me in another level, I guess. Or we can work with our projections and all of this stuff, and this is how that therapeutic relationship works. Also, so for me, it's actually positive. Even
Mhm.
if you had kids, for example, if you were a mother, we wouldn't have the same experiences because that would be impossible. So there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people might be so obsessed with that. Actually,
Mhm.
the thing is, like,
Yeah, I mean,
if they feel that this is a
go ahead.
fit, if they feel that energetically this is a fit, that is more important, I think, rather than if they have the same
Mhm.
experiences or not.
Yeah, and the way I see it is often, so many people feel misunderstood in this world, right? Obviously related to their childhood experience as well, where they haven't been seen, they haven't been heard. There's like, well, will this person get me, right?
Hmm.
So I think that's where it comes down a lot to, of like, they haven't necessarily lived this, so they won't be able to help me. Also it can be their own self sabotage of getting in their own way again. Okay, final question here, Anastasia.
Hmm.
So again, for the person watching this video, maybe there's someone who is kind of aware of their wounds, right? Maybe they've tried traditional talk therapy, listened to some podcasts, watched a bunch of videos, maybe they do some meditation. They have some awareness of their of their wounds and their blockages, but they've never really had a one-on-one high ticket or high level mentor coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could probably relate to this yourself as well. Um, what would you honestly say to that person? And really try to enter their mind where they've been doing lots of the surface level stuff. They haven't had a deep transformation yet, and they're still wondering why. They still keep doing the same thing, but not getting a different result. What would you say to that person?
Um, I would say that there is something that hasn't been worked yet. There is something that's, even if I think I'm aware of, you cannot take the body out of the equation. You cannot take the nervous system out of the equation. It's like, it feels like, my whole life, especially in Greece, for example, we have the tendency to have coffees for hours and talk with our friends, and we talk about everything, and we get it out of our system, and realize a lot more things when we talk about the things that are troubling us. But and sometimes, okay, there might be a little bit of shift because I realize that, but that goes on forever because transformation is in a lot of levels, and you do need the person that will be there for you on a different level and give you accountability to actually sit down with step by step all this um, exercises we did with the somatic experience is very much a part of it. It's implemented with it. It has everything. So I would say that you need to go deeper in a way, and that no matter what we can understand and intellectualize, this doesn't take us somewhere else. This might not take us somewhere else. We can talk about it forever. We can intellectualize it. We can say that, yeah, okay. But if this actually, there is no actual shift in this, then we haven't worked on that. Then something else needs to be done there. And that is action through emotions, through the nervous system, through this relationship with the other person, through accountability, through changing their narratives. And that is when we had the first interview, you used an expression that's lit a bulb in my head and said, okay, that is what I want. And that expression was this emotional surgery. Yeah,
Yeah.
it stuck.
Sometimes that scares people away. So,
I
but no,
love it.
I say that quite a lot.
I am this person that love this stuff. I loved it. Surgery is what I need. Uh,
Yeah, emotional surgery. Yeah. And it's funny you say that, right? Just to
it's
like,
not just a
I'll
lifting.
keep
It's
going on.
not just the buttocks. You need the actual surgery. You know?
But yeah, I mean that's kind of how I explain it, right? Like, all the awareness that the traditional talk therapy is, that's great. That's the diagnosis, right?
Hmm.
But now you've got to go get the surgery. People just want to keep coming back for the same diagnosis month after month after month, hoping it's going to get better. But it's not. Um, yeah,
And
what a powerful way to wrap it up.
the experience has also been that a lot of people, most people, or a lot of people are stuck with the diagnose, or I have this and this I cannot change because someone put a stamp on it, and I can take some pills or I can just live with the problem. I remember in past
Mm.
psychiatrists use this term. You need to live with the problems. Like, what do you mean? So it is obvious to me now. It is evident to me now that there is not one lens. Things have expanded, and it's very evident to me now that there can be change as long as you're willing to go down that road. There is change. So yes.
Oh. Incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, Anastasia. It's been an absolute blessing, a pleasure, and an honor
Mm.
to have been working with you over the last few months here.
Same for
Um,
me.
really, 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 really proud of the
Mm.
journey you've been on and where you are now. And I'm excited to see where life takes you now. There's many, many beautiful things already changing in your life. So I'm sure that you and I will stay in touch. And I'm excited
Mm.
to see what this fullest version of you looks like as it continues to expand more and more every day. So thanks again for trusting me on this journey. And you and I will talk soon, again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for being there. I'm also grateful for that. Mm.
You're very welcome.
Mm.
All right, everybody, have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Namaste.
Take care.